In this video, I'll show you how to add a booking calendar to your website so that your potential customers can easily schedule an appointment with you. And you can even ask them to pay before they book anything. Once they book, the meeting will appear in your and your customers' calendars automatically. And the best part is that you can either share a link directly to the booking page, include available slots in an email, or embed the calendar on your website. To achieve all of this, we will use a tool called Calendly, which has a free plan to get you started. This will work on any website platform, be that WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, and so on. Hello Internet people, my name is Robert and I'm here to help you get more leads and bookings on your website. So let's get started by going to calendly.com. So this is the Calendly's homepage, so let's get started by clicking on this button here and then just add your email address. Let's sign up. On this page, you just need to check if you agreed to these conditions, and if you do, you can just click on this one. This one you don't need to if you don't want to receive the marketing emails. And then you have the option to sign up with Google, or you can also use just a password. But since if you're using already Google Calendar and things like that, it'll be just easier if you use it through Google. So I'm going to sign up through Google. I just need to choose my account for Google. And here is asking for some permissions for your Google Calendar, which is really essential for this tool to work properly because this is a booking plugin. So we definitely need that. So let's allow that. Next, it's asking to create your Calendly URL, and this will be visible to customers. You're gonna maybe even add this to your social media and things. So take just a minute to think about what you want this to be. And probably if you have a business, you can just use your business name here. I'm going to add Tips with Punch, which is my channel name, my YouTube channel name. In any case, you can change this later, so don't worry about it, even if you don't know the perfect name right now. And then click on Continue. Here it just notifies you that it will check for this email, will check Robert for conflicts and also add events to this calendar. So that's perfect. That's what we want. Let's click on Continue. Next, it's asking your availability. So if you already know that, for example, weekends, you don't work, and maybe it's not from 9, but let's say from 10 till 4, that's when you're available, you can set it here. But if you don't want to decide that now, you can always do that later. You can just click on Set Up Later. I'm just going to continue with this because you can always update this as well. So from here, you can also personalize your experience. So if you tell a bit about your role and what you do, then they can personalize a little bit. But I'm just going to choose freelancer consultant in this case and then finish. And here on the right, you can see it's encouraging us to create a new event type, and events in Calendly are just templates for meetings that you'll schedule regularly. For example, if you want to schedule product demos with your customers or just customer calls, you would set that up here. So let's create a new event. You can also just create it from here at the top. You're under event types and just click on create. And from here you can see event type, one-off meeting, or meeting poll. So let's create event type, and mine is going to be one-on-one, but you can see that there's few other options here. And I think only one-on-one calls are in the free plan, so keep that in mind. So let's click on one-on-one. That's going to be probably the most popular option anyway. So the host is me because there's nobody else in my organization right now. So from here, I can call my event. I'll call this one Ask Me Anything. You can choose the color for this event if you want to. So if your calendar already has some coloring, I'm going to add orange, and then duration is 30 minutes. From here, you can choose location, Zoom, phone call, or in-person meeting. You also have some other options here. So in my case, it'll be Google Meet, but you could also choose Zoom or whatever other options fit your needs. And from here, we can just click on Continue. And now you're telling you, okay, your event type is ready. So this event is ready, but we can also adjust it because let's say for this event, I don't want it to be available every day, every weekday. So I want to adjust that. So let's see how that's possible. Here, schedule settings. From here, we can say, okay, invitees can schedule this event basically for 60 days ahead. So that's how far your calendar will be open. If you don't want to commit to that much, you can set from here to 30, for example. or you can also set to within certain time range or indefinitely into the future. I'll definitely add some boundaries to this. Indefinitely might be a bit weird if you have that meeting in a year. You can't really plan for that, but definitely just take a look at this. Then we're basically copying the available hours that we set in the beginning. So it's weekdays 10 to 16, but actually for this event, I don't want it. I just want it to be on Mondays, let's say from 10 to 12. Let's delete Tuesday. I'm going to delete also Wednesday. And then Thursdays is the same thing, but I'm going to give an option of something in the afternoon. So from 1 till 5. And I'm going to remove Fridays because that is not what I want. So you can see that the calendar is already updating. And these, if I click on this, you'll notice it gives you the options here. So you have here between 1 and 4:30, just because I want to finish by 5. So that means the last meeting can be at 4:30 only. Same thing for Mondays. It's from 10 to 11:30. Perfect. Now save and close. We can also hear event limits. So for example, buffer time. So how much time you want to leave before the meeting. If somebody schedules it, maybe you need to prepare for it. So let's set a buffer time of 50 minutes like this. And then after meeting, maybe you want to set something so that you don't need to jump into another meeting immediately. But this is up to you. I'll leave it to 0 right now, but I do need 15 minutes before so I can kind of get to know what they want and read a bit about my clients and things like that. Then you have minimum notice, so 4 hours, but I think that's a bit too short. I would say at least a day or so. So from here, I'm going to say 1 day. This just means that nobody can book anything on the same day. But for example, let me choose 3 days from here. You can see that the Thursday, which is 5th, is now not available because it's not within those 3 days. So I'm going to just make it to 2 days. So I'm prepared for this meeting, yeah? Then you have daily limit, how many meetings you can set from here. So for example, events per day, let's say I just want to have 3 events maximum. So it's going to set to that. So if there's too many people booking, then they're just going to pick another date, which is fine. Maybe you don't want to, overwhelm yourself with this. But in the beginning, I can imagine you want to just have maximum amount of bookings. So you can just go with that. From here, you can use also some additional options. Time zone display, use invitees. That's probably the best way. And then also start time increments in 30 minutes. That makes sense to me. Now I'm going to save and close. And from here, we can always view this live page. So if I click on this link, you'll notice here my URL, Tips with Punch, ask me anything. Perfect. Now this is the calendar. People could come here and actually schedule something. So let's close this up. Then we have the booking page. So if I click on that, here we can set the URL for this. So you see, ask me anything, that was generated automatically. But if you want to change it to something else like FAQ, it would be possible from here. Then you have the invitee questions. So we're going to ask the name and the email. Allow invitees to add guests. This is up to you if you want to. And then we have question 1. Please share anything that will help prepare for our meeting. You can also create a new question from here. And if you don't want to see this question, you can just delete it or disable it from here. But let's add a new question. Let's say I want to ask them, what do you want to talk about? Like this. And then required. And I'm going to add from here answer type. You could choose a one-liner, but actually I'm just going to say, where is it? Multiple lines like this. Status on and required. Done. And now if I want to change the positions of the questions, I can just drag it by clicking on this and just dragging it here. Okay, this makes more sense now. Another thing we can do, collect payments. So if I click on this, now unfortunately this feature is not part of the free plan, so you would need to pay for this, and I think you need to go for the professional plan. Basically, this enables you to charge before you even book that meeting. So the money will be on your account before the meeting even starts. So that way you are, guaranteed that they paid for your time, which is really cool feature of this and probably the most useful if you're a consultant or something like that. So we'll set this up in a second. I just want to show you some other settings here. Then after booking, what do you want to do? Display Calendly confirmation page, or you can also redirect to an external site. So for example, if you have some sort of a page on your website that you want to say thank you and stuff like that, you could do that here. Or maybe you have a thank you video or things like that, you can always redirect them to any other website. But for now, I'm going to keep displaying it on the confirmation page, and we'll update that in a second. So then here we have some links to confirmation page. It already has one. From here, we could basically enable it, schedule another event. For example, if you want to add some links to examples or what to expect kind of a thing, you could also link that on the confirmation page. But for now, this is okay. I'm going to just save and close. And then here, communications. If we click on that, we'll send out a calendar invitation. Obviously, that's immediately after booking. That's what we're going to do. Email reminders. Actually, I would like to remind them. Yes. Let's click on edit. Host emails address. Yes. And from here, we can set something reminder, event, blah, blah, blah. So you can either just leave these, because these event name and my name, these are basically variables. You can also add more variables from here. So it's going to basically replace this variable with the event name, then the name of the person, and event time on event date. Or actually, sorry, this is my name. So my name will be here, event time, event date, and this is the email. Hi, invitee, full name. And you can just update from here. For now, this is okay for me. 24 hours before. Yep, that sounds good. Status enabled. Cancellation policy. From here, you can also tell them if there's some sort of cancellation or rescheduling possibility. That's all possible. And here you can see it, include cancel and reschedule links in email, invitations, and reminders. So I think that's a good idea. So let's keep it and save and close. Then if you want, you can also set the text reminders or email follow-up. So after the meeting, if you want to follow up with an email, you could also say something, thank you for your time. And here are some details. Maybe you share some other things. Maybe you want to upsell some other services if you're interested. And again, here timing 1 hour after the event. This is perfect if you want to automate your business. So this is something to keep in mind. Let's save and close. And from here, you could also have a bit of more advanced notifications. So add workflow. And workflows are basically automations that you can set up. So for example, if somebody signs up, then you can send them automatically an email with your PDF to prepare for the meeting and things like that. You can follow up after the meeting. It's just more advanced follow-up sequences. So we are now in the dashboard again in the workflows. If we scroll down, there's some workflows that are already here. So for example, text booking confirmation to host, use workflow. We could use that workflow that is already automatically here. There you have some recipes here. So basically some templates for you to use. You can see there's quite a lot of them, but you can also create your own workflow if that's something you want. That's a bit more advanced. So let me close this up. And so from here, you would add that workflow. So let's save and close. So that's basically it. This is what we can do here. If you need to share this, you can click on the share button here. From here, you can share the link. So if you just copy a link, but there's some cool features here as well. Look, if you add times to email, so if you're sending an email to somebody, you can also do it from here. So you select, for example, let's say the next Monday. I'm going to select all the available times. And now if I click on continue, you can basically show them that, hey, you can copy this to your email, and then this will show up in the email itself. And then the person can just click, for example, on one of these. Let's say this fits me. I click on it, it will actually take you to your Calendly, to this event for this time. So this is super useful if you're just emailing somebody. Instead of sending them to Calendly, you can already embed the Calendly in your email. So I think that's a super useful feature if you are already in contact with a potential customer. Again, in the share, one more thing from here, you would add it to the website. And it's pretty easy. I'm going to actually show you how to do that. How do you want to add Calendly to your site? Inline embed, pop-up widget, or pop-up text. In my case, I'm going to inline embed. So for here, I'm going to select that and click on continue. And now you can choose some colors here if you want to. Again, let's just change it. Let's say something more purple from here, like that. And then from here, we can just come and copy the code. You see, there's this code here. It's now copied. And let me show you how to add this to your website. So I'm in WordPress in Elementor Page Builder. And this will work in pretty much any page builder that you are using, Wix or Squarespace or any of these. It should work on those. Even in the WordPress Gutenberg, it works pretty much with anything, because all you need to do is you come here and you search for HTML. You need an HTML container, and then you'll just drag it to the website. And now that it's on website here, HTML code, you just paste that code that Calendly gives you. And there you go, the Calendly loaded, and you can see it here. So if I update it and then preview the changes, you'll notice this is my website with my header and things like that. But now I have Calendly embedded here. So it's super easy that way. And look, designing and building a sales generating website is hard. So if you need help with that, you can book me to audit your website and send you a 15-minute video with actionable improvement points. And this all happens within 48 hours. Check the first link in the description for more information, or just scan this QR code. Let's test it out. Let's say next Thursday, or in a week Thursday, I'm gonna just schedule a meeting. Next, I'm gonna add Robert. Here I'm gonna add my other email address, stuff, nothing, and then schedule an event. Right? This is what you see. This is the confirmation page, and you can see there's also some links you can add there. It would show up somewhere here, I believe. And then both of you and your customer get this email. Basically, it has all the details. You can also just join through Google Meet from here. It also gets sent out as a meeting invite. So if you use any calendar, you would see it there and you can accept it as usual you would. And you can see here, powered by Calendly. But if you don't want this to show up, you need to have a paid account. Right now we have a free trial. I think it's a week or two. In any case, we can hide it. Let me show you how to do it. So if we go back from here and let's close this up. We already don't need it. That's done. I went back to Calendly dashboard. From here, you can see I have now this event type. But if we need to adjust the branding and stuff like that, we can come here, click on at the top here, click on your profile, and then branding. From here, you can say use Calendly branding and just disable that. Again, if you're just using the free account, this will get enabled once the free trial is over. But in any case, if you do upgrade, then it's not going to show up. Then you also have the logo. You can add your logo here. So for example, apply to all users and organization. Let's upload an image. So let's say I'm going to choose this one. Like that. Apply. There you go. That's my logo. In this case, it's just my picture. And it's going to show up on, for example, a Calendly page. Save changes. Okay, great. Let's go back to home. And you see that we have here an event that we actually don't need. This was created by default. So I'm going to come here and I can either delete it or just disable it from here like this. You see it's grayed out now. Another thing I want to mention is that if you have just few of these events, let's say 2 or 3, you can also just grab this URL. Let's try that. I'm going to click and open the new tab. And you can see on this page, you would see all my events. So right now I only have one, but if you would have more, then they would display here. This is a perfect option for people that are not sure what type of services they need from you, what type of meeting they want to do. So you just send this URL to them and they'll be able to choose whatever they need. So let's close this. And I already mentioned earlier, but there are some integrations you can do. And one of the most important integration is that you're able to, people have to pay before they can book a meeting with you. And to do that, we can come here, integration and apps. And just so you know, you can just look at here, most used. You have some apps that you can add. So for example, Google Meet or Calendly for Chrome. But if we're talking about payments, I'm going to just go to payments here. And here you can choose either PayPal or Stripe. Now, unfortunately, you can use only one or the other. You can install both, but for each event, you can only select one payment method right now, which is kind of limiting because now you have to choose between credit cards, which is Stripe, or then PayPal, which is PayPal, obviously. So I'm going to go with Stripe just because I think credit cards are a bit more used. Let's click on Stripe. And then I can just click here on connect with Stripe. I already have a Stripe account. If you don't, I would advise you creating a Stripe account because it's probably the most popular payment provider that you have. It integrates with pretty much any software that is out there. So if you're at any point want to charge people, Stripe will be the place to go anyway. So I would definitely use it. So for example, from here, you can either create your own Stripe account or have a Stripe account. You can use the same email, so you can see it from here. So let me just grab my Stripe account email. I went ahead and logged into my Stripe account. So from here, just follow the instructions. You can either create a new account or use existing one if you have. I'm going to use existing, connect. And there you go. You're now connected to Stripe. That's awesome. And now if we go back to dashboard and let's go and edit our event. So from here, edit. Now if we scroll down, booking page options, and here we had the collect payments. So if I click on that, do not collect payments for this event, but accept payments with Stripe. Yes. Amount to be collected. Let's say I want to charge $49 for half an hour. And here you would paste your payment terms. You can also have some help here if you want to, if you're not sure what to add here. So you can add your reschedule or cancellation policies and things like that. So you would add that here. You can see that the price already shows up here. And then we can just save and close. And now if we view this live page, we can see that now, okay, it costs us some money. So let's book an appointment from here, like this. I'm going to add my name. I'm going to add my name and answer the questions. And from here, you can see that I can pay with the card. Now this is powered by Stripe. And if you want to add the PayPal, it works the same way. There's a PayPal integration as well. So you can just add that through there. And from here, you would schedule the event and it's done. The money comes to your account, the meeting goes into your calendar, and it all works like magic. You just need to show up and provide value to your customer. So even if somebody doesn't show up, they already pay for that. And it's up to you if you want to just, give that money back, or if they didn't notify you, then, at least you keep the money as well. So from here, I could schedule the event. Now you know how to set up a booking calendar on your site, but without creating a compelling message about why people should book a time with you, you won't be able to reach your earnings potential. That's why you should watch this video next if you want to learn how to make a landing page that gets you double the bookings.